Y'all have no idea how long I have been dying to make this video because the other day a friend of mine said, if you could recommend any 5 romantasy books, what would you recommend? And the way I flipped my hair and showed up so fast, I was so pumped for this question. I feel like this was like my Super Bowl moment, and I was like, yes, I have prepared for this one. So without further ado, let's dive into the top 5 books that I would recommend if you are new to the realm of romantasy, you're looking to get into fantasy, and you just really don't know where to begin. Let me help you out. First and foremost, I feel like there are going to be so many people who are probably going to be like, oh my God, why would you recommend that? Because these are my recommendations, okay? So if you are completely new to the realm of romantasy, I would highly recommend starting with these books first. First and foremost, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Anyone who hasn't read this book, you probably have heard of it in the sense of it's highly raved about on the internet. This is the book that got me back into reading, and I will recommend this book forever. Like, I will forever recommend this book. I feel like it's the best way to get into romantasy and fantasy and understand that like realm of a genre. A Court of Thorns and Roses, the best way I can honestly summarize this book to somebody who hasn't read it is pretty much like a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. Obviously a lot more depth to it than that, but when I first read this series, I was like, isn't this just Beauty and the Beast? To like this half of the book, and it changes up a bit. Recommend this to anybody trying to jump into the romantasy fantasy realm because I feel like it's so easy to understand, it's easy to read. It's a great start, honestly. Once you have finished A Court of Thorns and Roses and you have gone through the entire series, you'll jump into this one next. Fourth Wing is another one that is so simple to understand. It's so easy to follow. Beautiful story from start to finish. I don't care who shits on this book. It is my god tier. I will literally love this book forever. I'm honestly planning a reread soon because I miss these characters so much. This book made me fall even farther in love with reading. You've got dragons, you've got a war academy. Honestly, this book will forever be a favorite of mine. Super easy to follow. It's got some spice. It's got romance. It's got great found family. You've got, like I said, a War Academy, dragons. It's everything you could need in a romantasy and more. Next up, I'm sure I will get some drama for this because there is so much controversy around this book, and I don't understand why because it was one of my favorite books I've ever read. The book I'm talking about is the Powerless series. The book was my very first annotation book, as you can see with my baby tabs. I feel like it's a perfect merge into the romantasy realm. It's super easy to follow. You've got trials, you've got a love interest, and there's actually no spice in this one. A lot of tension and banter, which makes up for the spice, I will say. It's a very good, very easy to read series, and there are quite a few of them, as you can see. Once you've finished those ones, I would say the next route I would take would be one of these 2 books right here. They're a great merge into the romantasy realm, but it gets you a little bit deeper into the story, if that makes sense. First recommendation is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. This book is excellent from start to finish. A little bit more depth and more intense than like reading something like Powerless, but this one's more like the adult side, I would say, but it still sticks with like, you've got creatures, you've got gods, you've got hidden secrets, you've got all sorts of cool things, and honestly, this became one of my favorite series of all time. And it's not a completed series, so keep that in mind because the ending of book 1 will make you very mad. Last but not least, because I could go on and on and on about my favorite romantasy books. This one I picked up on a whim, and I did not know that it would easily become one of my favorite romantasy books that I have ever read. This one was so unexpected. Honestly, I adore the author. I adore this book so much, and it's a perfect merge into romantasy, I feel like, especially if you don't really know where to begin. This one's called Godsbane by Richardson. First and foremost, there are only 2 books in this series out so far. So you've got Godsbane, and then I'll put it here, you've got Deathsbane is the second one. You have to read this one first before you read this one. A lot of story development that happens here, and then this one is, as weird as it sounds, it's like the prequel to this, but it also is the prequel to the next book. You'll understand when you read it. The book is perfect in the sense of you've got like gods and monsters, you've got fated mates, you've got all of the elements of romantasy, the thinner ones, so it's a lot easier for you to digest if you're new to this realm. Beautifully done. The spice is excellent, the MMC is excellent, the FMC, you love her so much. Like, this is a perfect merge into the realm of romantasy and romantasy reads. What else would you recommend? What else would you add to this list? Leave a comment below.